Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to the podcast. I am your regular EV dad, John. This is the Family EV Podcast. And as ever, sitting at my left, my virtual left, is Joe from JKEV. How you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty well. It's been a couple of weeks. How you been?
Surviving, as ever, surviving. With much to talk about, including I have purchased a car. I have wired a not insignificant amount of money across the country, but we'll talk about that in but a handful of minutes. But shall we sing happy birthday right now for your ID4?
Yeah, we're both at one year of ownership now. It's
yeah, well, I think so. I got to check the paperwork. You definitely are. Mine might be tomorrow. I got to double check on this one because I'm having a senior moment and I need to find the paperwork.
I'm skimming through my photos to double check if it was today or the 22nd. They both sound very similar.
It makes no difference at this point. I will.
By the time this goes live.
Yeah, it's the 20th, and so because you would think I would have taken a picture of my car on the day, but for whatever reasons, I've got pictures of EV Notify. So I think mine is tomorrow. I'm looking at it as I think mine's going to be the 21st. My wife was out of town, which makes sense. And I've got pictures of the Fiat 500, the pictures I took, which ultimately I then listed it on Car Guru. I've got screenshots of the ID4 app, as was then, and I've got EV Notify working. So, and then tomorrow, I have a picture of the Tesla Adapt, and I took it for a fast charge. So, but I can't remember what else I did. But anyway, yes. So, how's your year of ownership, Ben? Are you going to be doing? I assume you're going to do a video of talking about it.
I just did a video when I hit 20,000 miles a couple of months ago, and there hasn't been really anything exciting since then, other than I subscribed to Consumer Reports, and they notified me that there's another recall, which I think will be the 4th or 5th recall at this point. This seems like a more serious one. I can actually bring it up and see what the wording was on it, according to them. I haven't received anything from Volkswagen yet, though, to confirm that my vehicle is a part of this. But it relates to the electrical system, like the important electrical system.
I'm seeing it right now. March 15th reported 351 vehicles. They haven't got a remedy for it yet, but yes, the traction battery, a unreliable battery connection may cause a stall, increasing the risk of a crash. 351 vehicles affected. I haven't received a notification, but I'll check my VIN number on that later on. Yes. So look, we're going to talk about the ID4s in a minute, and we do have some news for you, but you're going to have to wait for that for a minute. And I mean serious news, because I've had this now. I've been told this by two separate groups of individuals, and it's a situation we're going to factor into that. Yes, the OTA is part of this, but this is a bigger issue. But we'll save that for a minute. While we talk about what else is going on. So it's been an interesting week in EVs. Let's get the Tesla stuff out of the way right now. They're now more like iPhones than ever. They're getting rid of the charger that comes with it, the granny charger, although their granny charger can also take 50 amps. So let's be clear, you buy the adapter. And it is one of the best chargers there is on the market. In fact, it's so good that Joe's asked me to bring mine with me when we do our adventure across Nevada and Utah in a handful of weeks. And I'm more than happy to do so, Joe. But yeah, is this, part of me thinks this is, you know, how many people really use it? I'm curious, because it is a quality device, and you know there is nothing to stop you just hanging it permanently in your garage or at home, or you know, or even outside. It is weatherproof, it is UL rated, and using that as your everyday charger.
So Kia is the first company to do this. The EV6 does not include a charger. I think we've talked about this before. We're kind of on the same page that you know, people are free to buy whatever charger they want, or if they already have owned an electric car, they likely already have one at this point. The one downside that I can say that I've run into is when I traded in my Chevy Volt and I didn't have my charging cord with, CarMax was going to dock me money off of it. And then so I took over Chevy, and they were also going to dock me money for not having the charging cord with. So I wonder if people go and trade in Teslas go in the future, if these companies are going to try to say, oh, we need a charging cord with the car, otherwise you're not going to get as much money for your car.
I mean, if that is
a little petty amount, but yeah,
it is a petty amount, but also they've come down in price so much. And the secondhand one, you know, there's a huge secondhand market for them on Fleabay. I know, because there was a period of time where I had 2 or 3 of them, and in fact, you know, we're going to be buying, well, actually we won't be buying another one, because the new car does come with a 40 amp capable mobile charger. So yes, if you're eliminating which one it is, there is a thing on my Twitter, I'll put a thing in it. There's a poll running to see, you know, if you can guess what it is. I put the choices as being BMW iX, an e-tron, and I can't remember what the third choice was, but anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. There will be a new Tesla Adapt going into the thing, and I will be getting the uprated version this time, because things have evolved a little bit. And interesting is, I'm planning my road trip. I am running into a number of Tesla destination chargers that do run faster, that are running at 11 and 16 kilowatts. I find the 11 number quite interesting, but there's quite a few of them. So I think that's welcome to the variation of American power systems, and what is commercially available, especially in the South.
When I think 11, isn't that the rate that Model 3s and Model Y long ranges charge at? So I could see maybe that's why they put that specific speed in. Yeah,
possibly. But yeah, I think, you know, I want to be generous. I do want to be generous and say, you know, inflation is real, especially when you consider they're taking in raw inputs and metal and the chemicals of these batteries have been increasing exponentially in price. I want to say this is nickel and diming to prevent a bigger increase. And also there are so many incentives in place available for people to install wall chargers at home. I know we're going to be taking advantage of that with the upgrade. I should talk about that. We're getting some power walls, Joe. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, it's interesting. But Tesla's on a bit of a tear right now. They're going to shut, so they're up to 350 cars at Model Ys per day in Berlin. They're going to try and ram that to 2,000 as soon as, but then in August they're going to shut for 3 weeks and transition from the existing battery packs based on 2170s to the new 4680 battery packs, which they're making on site. So the battery factory that's part of Giga Berlin is coming up to speed. And so they know they're going to shut down for 3 weeks to do that. That's an amazing ramp. I mean, this is, you know, that's just a mind-blowing engineering capability.
I'm interested to see how many people will want to try to switch their long-range order to this new 4680 order.
We will see. I mean, we talked about, we didn't, because we never published it. We canceled the last one we recorded. We did talk about the not short range, not long range Model Ys coming out of Austin right now, which are only being sold to staff, but we know will be announced to a wider market shortly, which is based off the 4680, but comes in, was it 30 miles less?
Yes, I think 279 rated, and it's all-wheel drive as well.
Yeah, and comes in $3,000 less, which is pretty good value, and you know, pretty good range as well, as makes no difference. Oh, and I just realized, Joe, and this was my mistake. People, if the screen's been bouncing, it was my fault. I forgot to pin the I forgot to pin the thing, so it may have been doing the bouncy thing, but it'll stop that now. Sorry, if you're watching this, I'm not always a professional. I got other things on my mind. But it's interesting to see. But the other, as we talk about chemicals, Rivian saying that the battery shortage is going to make the chip supply issue look like a small appetizer. I'm not sure if this is Rivian trying to reset expectations with Wall Street, or trying to make everybody else look bad. They seem to be the ones suffering the most in the supply issues. Everyone else is, I think the issue is they've overset expectations, as opposed.
I agree with that, because I don't know that any other brands are telling the same story. I think like Tesla still is doing pretty well on their production numbers according to their earnings calls, etc. And there's some of the headlines are Ioniq 5s have doubled in deliveries from previous months. So other brands seem to be getting the cars out. I think Rivian is just trying to find excuses at this point.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on. This won't mean much to you, Joe, but it is Tesla related, and I find this interesting because I go there on a regular basis. In fact, I will be swinging by there later on this afternoon. Tesla have, or rather PG&E have switched on the massive battery pack system, 630 megawatts. Actually, it's bigger than that. I think it's 700. At Moss Landing, down here towards Carmel and Monterey. This is actually part of an old peaker plant, a gas-fired peaker plant, so it had all the infrastructure already in place, and they've deployed it there, and it's about to go live now. The purpose of it is to soak up all of the solar from all the residential systems that we have around here, because like California, we get a few things right. And then they're going to be able to turn on these battery packs without turning on the peaker plant, the gas-fired peaker plant, which is fantastic. I mean, how do I put it? You know what? I'm sorry, Joe. I'm going to get my soapbox out for a minute. So I'm planning. Well, I don't give too much away on this. Oh, it's 360. No, it's not. I'm trying to find the right. The Tesla's turned on 2 of these in recent weeks, and I keep hitting the wrong one. Anyway, the car I'm coming with comes with a certain amount of power from Electrify America. It's not a lot, and on the 3,000-mile road trip I'm planning on doing in 4 days, there isn't enough there's not enough charges in that. So I was looking at a better route planner, and I'll do a separate video as I plan out the route and which I will record later today, and I'll put it out on, I'll schedule it to go out on Saturday when I've taken delivery of the car, and I'll let people know what the car is, because it'll be a road trip video to follow. I pay a lot of money for my electric, Joe, but I wasn't aware of that until now, because I have solar system on the house and I have free charging on my, for my ID4. Well, let me tell you now, if I want to fill this car from 10 to 80%, which is what I've put in as my standard, when I'm in Georgia and Texas, it's going to cost me between $8 and $10 to do that. As soon as I get
is that because are those the states that charge by the minute?
It's just how they charge, my friend, regardless of whether it's by the minute or by the kilowatt. It's what I'm going to pay. The minute, because obviously that's a reflection of how I know is how they charge and what they, there's mandates and But the minute I hit New Mexico, the minute I hit Arizona, and that I'm only charging maybe once or twice in Arizona, but then when I get to California, yeah, my charge goes to $25. It's quite a difference. So for obvious reasons, I'm going to save my kilowatts, my free kilowatts, until they're worth the most which is going to be in California.
Yeah, that they don't activate until you put the code in, right? Is that how it works?
Well, you can choose, or you can also choose what plan you're going to do it, what plan you're going to use. Because yeah,
use the ID4 plan.
I'm not, I'm not going to edit this out, Joe. They can see the VIN number when you because it's part of the communications. Don't think, and I will say actually, in this, so my wife charged the ID4 a couple of week or so ago, and she hadn't set it up properly in the app, or I hadn't set her up properly in the app, and so she paid for charging, but they actually did unwind it because they could see that it was my ID4 that had done the charge, and so they actually refunded the $9 of charging that she'd done. So thank you, EA, for that. And don't worry, EA, there's no stickers on this run. I'm not going to be putting stickers all over. Don't worry, you're safe. Although, let me just tell you right now, I was in Texas a couple of weeks ago. I'm just editing the video right now with a Chevy Bolt, and I had to use an EA charger, and they were all covered in other people's stickers. So, yeah, things I don't care about. It was just stickers with QR codes, and I actually looked at their websites, and they're pretty good people that have done this thing. They're actually doing a lot for the community. Someone who does marketing for a living, don't shit on free advertising. Anyway, word of mouth is the most valuable and cost-effective mechanism we have. So that was it. So that's going on, which is interesting. I'm conscious of time today, Joe, because I got a meeting in 40 minutes. So I'm trying, let's not make this a 3-hour Joe Rogan thing. The BMW i7 was announced this morning. We don't talk about these things in that, but have you seen it?
I haven't watched any of the reviews yet, but it looks good.
It does. It looks. They've taken some of the best design elements from the iX, which I do like. They've not made the kidneys a normal size, a proportional, one would say. I did date a young lady who was a younger man whose nickname was Beaver Teeth, and didn't put me off. It is, yeah. Now, what's interesting, now let me find that thing. So they're gonna sell in Europe, they're only going to sell the electric version of the 7 Series, the new 7 Series, which includes the i7. Whereas here and where was it? And in China, they will sell a hybrid version, which will have, it'll be have a petrol engine and a 48-volt mild hybrid version. So, and then they're going to have plug-in versions to follow in 2023. But yeah, it looks like they are going to get this out this year. I'm not going to talk about the, the interior screen and, the theater screen that you can have drop down and all the rest of that things. We have one of those in the transit van for the kid to watch when we're doing long distance, really seriously long distance things. But it is pretty. It is very nice. It's very BMW. It's very, yeah. There's only one question in my mind, Joe. When's the i5 coming out? Because that's the one. I love an ICE. I love a BMW 3 Series stroke 4 Series. It's just the coupe version. Give me a 5 Series touring. Give me a long roof 5 Series. Give me all that room. Give me all that space in the back, and give me 800 brake horsepower.
I'm just genuinely surprised that the X3, the iX3 that's in Europe, never came here. I thought that would have been a gold mine for them over here.
I wonder if
3 Series X3, I think, is the best-selling BMW these days, isn't it?
I wonder if they're not making the money on it, and that's why they're not selling it. Well, but also you remember, because it's made in China, so there's a 25% duty when you bring it in.
Oh yeah.
That's not insignificant. So, but if this allowed them to amortize some of the development costs, then all well and good. But Yeah, we like that. We like that. BMW, we'd love to test drive it. We'd love to, review it for the channel. Seriously. Love the iX. Absolutely loved it. Took it for a test drive. Mrs. Regular EV fell in love with it. So maybe that's what we're picking up. Who knows? Actually, that comes with free charging. So I've just dismissed that one. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to care what the price was, because that comes with 30 minutes of free charging for 2 years. But yeah, no, I love this i7, especially in the matte black, satin finish matte black. It looks like Darth Vader's stepson.
Yeah, more brands are coming out with this matte paint that almost looks like a wrap from the factory. It looks pretty good.
It does. It does. Joe, do you want to talk about anything else before we talk about the ID4 stuff and the road trip?
Nope. Yeah, we can move on to that.
So Joe and I are going to be meeting up at some point in May. In fact, you know what, we'll put it out right now. Let me get the calendar. So I'm going to arrange a meetup on and there'll be a meetup link. It'll be at one of two locations, either the Electrify America at Sam's Club or the DOT site, the Utah UDOT site, then South Salt Lake City, which has featured definitely in my videos. Did you stop there on the way down? No, you went the other way to me.
I went to the Sam's Club in Salt Lake.
Yeah, this will be a new one for you. It's kind of cool. More attention needs to be brought to this, especially in the red states. I know we try not to do politics, but look at the number of chargers in Austin versus everywhere else in Texas. It's quite interesting. DC fast chargers. So this is going to be, when's Tony? We're doing the thing on Thursday. So this will be on Friday, the 20th of May, in Salt Lake City. It will be a lunchtime-ish thing, and so follow Regular EV Dad, or what's your Twitter handle, my friend?
The Real Joe Franz.
The Real Joe Franz. Yeah, we're going to do a meetup, and I'm going to ask a couple of vendors to throw in some goodies and things like that. It'll be fun. We are going to, it's not I-50, Joe, it's just 50. It's Highway 50, not Interstate 50. It's Highway 50. I got nasty grams about that. So Joe and I are going to, on Thursday the 19th, so don't try and follow us, because there's only one bloody charger to make this happen, and we don't need a queue of them, of people there. I'm going to drive from Carson City to Salt Lake City on Highway 50, just to see if it can be done, and how long it takes, and what it's like. We're planning a few other things around it, and then it's going to be an all-day kind of job. And then I will be at, and so if you want to buy tickets now, do it now. I will be opening for Tony Hinchcliffe at Wise Guys in downtown Salt Lake City. Joe, you don't need to buy a ticket. You're on the guest list, my friend. Okay, I'm going to take care of you. But it's going to be an amazing show. Tony's headlining, and I know that Hans and or William will definitely both be there as well. So 2 shows, Friday and Saturday. Joe's only going to be there for the Friday show because he's got to drive home. So yes, we're going to do that in the ID4. Which brings me to so got to think about what I'm saying here, Joe, because I don't want to throw anybody under a bus or get them in trouble. Let's talk about the good news. So earlier this week, and I will retweet it in a minute so that people can sign in regular. Brandon Flash tweeted. Brandon, where's your tweets? Can't find it now. Where are you, Brandon?
Would that be under, isn't it EV Nomads? Is there?
I can't remember. Is he even EV Nomad?
I'm not sure on Twitter. I can check. Maybe it's on Facebook. I'll check on the computer.
I got him. Brandon Flash. Here we go. So Brandon tweeted out. Brandon, if you're watching this, you've still got a pinned tweet from August of last year, and I know I've got one just as bad, but anyway. Brandon retweeted. Here we go. On 18 hours ago. Brandon said, I witnessed it charging. So Lang Reynolds, we know Lang from we know Lang. He's doing stuff with Circle K. I think that's Lang. Oh look, VW Media even had to pitch in on this. It's rather amusing. We're going to drill into this. That wasn't the plan, but we are going to get into this now. So Brandon Lang said he spotted a company ID4 charging 175 kilowatt with plug and charge running the latest software. When will the rest of us get this update, VW? And Brandon chimed in, which is why I immediately said he was witness to it charging at 145, and he spoke into it. That was at a low state of charge in the 20s, I think he said. Now,
they're charging at 145 or 175.
He said he saw it at 145. Lang said he saw it charging at 175.
Okay.
Brandon said he saw one at 145. Now, to which Ron Ratty, who follows me, Ron, hi. Chimed in and said, everyone chimed in. And I will say, yeah, the front of the, if you see it, the front of it does look a little different too. This might be a pre-production Chattanooga car. The front looks just a little bit different. It looks like they've just smoothed it. It might just be the light, but it just looks so smooth. Anyway, Volkswagen's official position on this is, thanks for being part of the VW family. We'll announce region specific. To which, look, here's the problem, boys and girls. I am reliably informed from somebody who is going to have to do a lot of these upgrades. First of all, this ain't going to happen before the end of June. There's been another delay, and they're now talking about this happening at the end of year, which Volkswagen does. Their year is mid-year. Okay, so this ain't going to happen before the end of June. So big chunk of the summer season gone. Second, it takes 11 hours. Remember when we were told they were doing that update with 2.6 so that OTA would work? And remember that they then put OTAs out with increases in charging and other changes to the interface, including some rather important safety ones like the ability to change the volume. I know I'm harping on, but this can't be done. They got to change the battery because this will run for so long that batteries won't live. And I know this because I just had to have my battery changed. It was done under warranty.
You mean the 12-volt battery, right?
12-volt battery had to be changed. And this has affected other people as well, local to me. These batteries just cannot stay on. I disconnected my dash cam, which is ridiculous. before Christmas because I was getting warning lights. I had my battery just died. I had a puncture and I don't know, something tripped off. And then yeah, my car, the 12-volt system was dying. The battery was going so bad I couldn't open the car. The kid got locked in the car briefly. We had a crazy situation. That was terrifying. And just because the 12-volt system was malfunctioning because of the bad battery. And the dealer took care of it. But here's the issue. They got to swap the battery. And then the update takes 11 hours and the car has to be plugged in continuously, not on a 1772. No. On the ODB for 11 hours, which means they got to do it. They've got to do it overnight, because if they've only got so many of these tools. Okay, one of the bigger dealerships here has got down up that way, up towards Oakland, has 15. They are going to have to decide how many of these they will do each day and when they'll do them, because that bay is out of commission for a full half day. They're not being paid for that 12 hours either. They're being paid for the amount of time it takes to do the work. Plug in, hit 16, but whatever it is, and then there's all the cars they've been selling. Remember, they sold over 50,000 of these things. So they all need to be done. Right now, they're putting a stop on ID4s. They're being held at the port for 60 days because they're not going to bring them into the dealer network until they've had the software update, which is going to hurt the dealers again, because this is their cash flow. Remember, you don't get paid until the car has exited the building, and dealers are already suffering because of the low inventory. By the way, I don't often feel sorry for dealers in this situation, but most of them run on book to value, which means if they don't have the inventory in, that means that it shows a profit on their books, which may or may not be there, and then they're going to have to pay tax on that. A well-run business is never profitable. A well-run business produces dividends. That's a different situation. So this is all going in there. So this dealer that I was talking to, not the one that repaired my car, I want to be clear about that, although they're having the same issues, they're going to upgrade 3 cars a day. They're looking at whether they can do them overnight or not as well. But this is a serious issue. This update might become available, but not be deployable because of constraints in time and engineering resources at dealerships. So I hadn't told Joe any of this. So what you're seeing on his face right now is real.
Just frustrated, especially since we've talked before that I'm not sure. I had plans this summer to switch from the ID4 to a different vehicle, but obviously I want to catch this update to be able to test it out and see if it actually improves the quality of the vehicle. So just frustrating that it's been pushed off for a year at this point, and it'll be another 3+ months at, yeah.
So we'll see. Brandon posted a picture. He grabbed a frame. The car was doing 90 kilowatts at 56% as opposed to the normal 83. So it looks like the changes to the curve sit high is what is the phrase I would use. They've created space under the curve. So you know, if it is maximum 145 up to 40, and then it drops to 90, well, actually there's a bit in the middle there, because at 40 it's between 40 and 51. I think it normally runs at 109. I had to do a big charge last night, but yeah.
I think also part of this update is they're unlocking more of the battery. That's how they're getting the range boost.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Although, you know, you have to assume they're learning lessons from the rest of the Audi group as well. So we'll see. You look at the e-tron, you know, they benefit from that big buffer as well. So yeah, we'll see. I did write to Volkswagen about this, and no response. I said I'd do it under Chatham House rules, and no response. I'm an owner, not a podcaster. I'm a podcaster, but you know, yeah, nothing, nada, zip. So frustrated, but there will be. What day is today? It's Friday. It's Thursday right now. What is it today? It's Thursday or Wednesday? It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So no video from us before Thursday of next week. This will go up today on the 20th. I'm going to start the upload as soon as we finish recording it. And by the way, if you notice all the flashy graphics aren't around, it's because I have a new laptop and I haven't done all the updates and brought all the brand and content over. So sorry about that. That's why you're just getting raw stuff right now. But yeah, none of those vehicles are going to be coming in. People are going to be more frustrated. 60-day hold at the ports, updates taking there. If you think you're going to get an update anytime soon, you're going to be getting a new battery to allow it to happen. And also, they're going to need your car for a significant period of time. And whether or not they're going to have loaners, yet today you can just see this situation. Yes, the world will get better, but it's going to get a little darker between now and then. I'm not going to worry too much because we will have another thing. Oh, so let me finish on some close points. I said I mentioned this. So we're going through the bid process right now, but I think I know who we're going to be working with. And Joe, I said, you know, when we sold, the company got sold and I got paid out on that, and that was great. One of the things I wanted to do and need to do is put a new roof on my house. This house does need a new roof. It's actually 2 new roofs because there's a double story I'm in and a single story over there. We already have 7.5 kilowatts of solar on the roof. Obviously, that will have to come off and then go back down. But we are going to upgrade the solar system at the same time. We're also going to fit a second car charger over on the other side. There's been some electrical work to do that, but they're going to augment that all in with the roof upgrade. And we are going to get between 2 and 3 power walls added to the solution as well. So this will not be a Tesla roof. This is going to be my old system with new panels with a Tesla power walls. Because my father-in-law lives with us and he has breathing issues and has and we're meant to be, it's never been sorted out, but it's being done now on the CARE program for sustainability, because we do get Packers because we live in the hills and we have wildfires. They are going to put a disconnect in, and we will be having between 2 and 3 powers. We'll probably have 3. How they'll be paid for is the difference because of that. And then we're going to have the 2 car chargers as well. So the house will be a 3 electrified car house between the 2 full electric and then my father-in-law's plug-in electric hybrid, the Pacifica. So yeah, we're gonna have to do that. So it's interesting to work out how we do all this with the solar system and the thing. There will be much content to come on that. We're looking forward to that project. More to come from the pair of us over the coming weeks, so make sure you subscribed, like and subscribe the podcast and the channels, JKEV and Regular EV Dad. I am putting up content right now. I did a quick green glow chat the other night. Been a long time since I've done one of those, but I have a little bit of time on my hands right now as I'm not working. I'm just doing a little bit consulting here and there and enjoying my comedy, and hopefully other people are as well. So yeah. Oh, and whoever Nokius is, Nokius knows what's going on. Although flying Europe with my EV5, so I'm not sure who Nokius is, but anyway, I'll leave that for another day. Joe, anything else from you, my friend?
Nothing else here, just going through the motions.
All right, my friend. You've all been fantastic. Like and subscribe. We'll see you all in 10 days or so.
Take care.